Back, well, they reckon the AFL season's going through a flat spot right now. There's only one thing that can rekindle that fire, and that's a completely unhinged and slightly incoherent diatribe from two blokes with not just an axe to grind, but a footballing chainsaw. Throw all your best crockery at the TV screen, get angry, because it's time for the Footyology Rant-Off! All right, straight into it again this week. Who's first?
Heads or tails?
Tails.
It's come up. Connolly, you're opening the batting, right?
All right, I just remembered it was my turn anyway, so that was completely and utterly useless. All right, count me in.
3, 2, and 1.
I'm worried about the dwindling passion of footy fans, Finey. You and I, we supported our teams through thick and thin, stood ankle deep in VB cans and urine at Victoria Park. But who are we passing the baton to? A bunch of spoiled, soft theatre goers whose idea of commitment is not turning the TV over to SBS's Friday night soft porn fest when their side gets more than 2 goals behind. Just 20,000 at the MCG for Collingwood Fremantle. 20,000. The Pies hadn't drawn that few people since 1940. And at least those guys were too busy building bomb shelters in the middle of World War II. What was your excuse, Magpie fans? Say your team's not winning, it was snowing, the car parks were closed and major train lines were shut. Big deal. We used to drive our horse and cart in blizzards to go and watch our teams, and when we got carted off in the ambulance suffering hypothermia, we did it with a pride that can only come from living vicariously through 18 blokes kicking a bit of leather around an oval. Even the footy media's gone soft. I was there on the boundary for SEN last Friday night, and as soon as the first drops fell, the Triple M bloke scarpered off in his Black Thunder. They might as well have given away the whole broadcast and cut to a Bon Jovi triple play. But even Bon Jovi at least rode a steel horse and was wanted dead or alive. What can you Triple M softcocks claim? You didn't want to get your acid-washed jeans wet?
I liked it, and it's true.
It is true.
But you've gone over again, Ro-Co.
I know, I have. I've got a habit of doing that. And I suspect you might be about to make up for that.
That's right. I've collected all of your running overs like shrapnel down a couch, put it all together, and I finally got enough to give myself double time.
All right.
Because this is something that absolutely, and I mean absolutely, is a bugbear of mine and probably my biggest rant of the season.
You've earned it. Okay, I'm going to count you in properly in that case. 3, 2, 1, rant!
Allow me to start with a football lesson. Australian rules football is historically important. It lays claims to the oldest football competition in the world. Melbourne and Geelong may well be the 2 oldest football clubs in the world. So tradition needs to be respected. And on the weekend, there were 2 very different examples of how to respect and disrespect. I talk about the jumper, the Guernsey. Great to see Brisbane sport the old Fitzroy, the maroon, the blue and the white monogrammed. Young kids might not realise, but that used to be the norm, literally. Norm Dare, Norm Brown used to get around in it. A real jumper. And then fast forward to Sunday. Not Hawthorn strip, but that abomination worn by Gold Coast. When I first saw it 7 years ago, I thought, why are they wearing training jumpers in the VFL? But they've stuck with it. They look like medium-sized McDonald's fries chips packets running around the ground. And the problem is that it's not traditional. Football jumpers need to be a combination of stripes, hoops, panels, or sashes, monograms, yokes and V's. In 1987, it was the then VFL becoming the AFL that let the whole thing go pear-shaped by allowing comic strip cartoon characters to be emblazoned on jumpers. We had koala bears with Brisbane, Caramello koala sued. We had the West Coast Eagles. We had rubbish. We even had the Opera House silhouetted onto the Swans. And they broke the golden rule. The golden rule says if your nana can't knit it, it's not a footy jumper. At least some of those clubs had the common sense to go back to real jumpers. You had to be on drugs not to, which is why the Eagles stuck with theirs. So all these years later, what happens? We get the Gold Coast and the GWS. Gold Coast look like French fry packets, and the GWS, my God, if they make the grand final, where will pub owners be able to buy ochre and slate-coloured balloons and streamers to festoon their pubs? No. You need to maintain the tradition. Modern jumpers for the bin. It's the old knittables for me and for you if you love your footy.
Here, here. Very well done. Well, you earned the extra time and you used it wisely. Could not agree more. They're taking our footy traditions for granted. Got to be knitted. Nana has to be able to knit it.
You know what? You know South Melbourne used to be a poor suburb. They used to take any old white butcher's thing, put 2 red ribbons on it, you had a South Melbourne jumper. Nana couldn't knit the Opera House.
No, I agree. Probably couldn't climb up the steps either.
You know we didn't do any voting last week, and as a result got our most ever votes. So once again, I'm not going to tell you how to vote, just do what you did last week and get us the votes. And I think it's going to be close again.
By osmosis.